Germany stretches from the windswept shores of the North Sea and Baltic Sea to the rugged heights of the Bavarian Alps, offering a landscape that feels both orderly and untamed. The journey begins in Berlin, where history, modern architecture, and creative energy flow along wide boulevards and peaceful canals. Trams slide past contemporary galleries and restored landmarks, while cyclists navigate beneath lime trees that have witnessed decades of change. A narrator's eye catches the glass dome atop the Parliament building shining in the morning light as visitors circle its spiraling ramp. Street musicians perform near subway entrances, and the scent of roasted nuts drifts from market stalls. Westward across the plains, Hanover presents botanical gardens, trade fairs, and neighborhoods lined with tidy apartments. To the south, Kassel blends museums with sprawling parks where statues rise from manicured lawns and lakes shimmer beneath willows. Farther west, the industrial power of the Ruhr region appears unexpectedly green. Parks and lakes occupy former mines, and repurposed steel structures tower over cycling trails. Locals picnic beneath rusted frameworks that have been transformed into cultural monuments, and museums recount how coal and metal once fueled Europe's factories. The Rhine River glides through Düsseldorf, where modern towers gleam above promenades crowded with office workers enjoying lunch and families licking ice cream. Bridges cross the water in steel arcs, and ferries shuttle passengers between quays. In Cologne, a stone cathedral pierces the skyline with twin towers as worshippers and tourists flow beneath stained glass windows that glow with scenes from centuries past. The Rhine shifts from urban horizons to vineyard-clad hills as it approaches mines. Terraced slopes shimmer with grapevines that have rooted in slate and limestone for centuries. Small towns rest beside the river, their half-timbered houses painted in muted pastels and crowned with intricate gables. Barges move slowly, carrying cargo toward Rotterdam, while regional trains clatter along the banks. Beyond the vineyards, Frankfurt's skyline rises with skyscrapers that gleam in the afternoon sun. Glass cubes and soaring towers reflect the clouds, while street-level markets sell spices, honey, and sausages sizzling on flat grills. Skaters weave between office workers at the riverfront, and joggers trace the path of the main river beneath arched bridges. Turning south, the land becomes gentler as the Black Forest spreads across Baden-Württemberg. Evergreen trees stretch across ridges, and winding roads lead to villages famed for carved clocks and tart cherry cakes topped with whipped cream. Hikers follow narrow paths beneath mossy teepees, and streams tumble over stones polished by centuries of snowmelt. The air smells of pine and wood smoke as guesthouses prepare hearty meals of roast meats and spätzle. Nearby, thermal towns bubble with mineral-rich waters that have soothed travelers since Roman times. Farther east, Stuttgart presents a world shaped by engineering. Glass-fronted museums showcase the evolution of automobiles, and test tracks buzz with prototypes cloaked in camouflage patterns. Trams glide up hills lined with vineyards that cling to terraced slopes, while residents eat buttery pretzels dusted with coarse salt on their commute. Markets sell white asparagus in spring, strawberries in summer, and aromatic mushrooms in autumn, demonstrating a cuisine rooted deeply in seasonal rhythms. Approaching Bavaria, castles emerge on crags above broad meadows grazed by dairy cattle. Neuschwanstein rises like a dream of turrets and balconies, its pale stone glowing against dark forests. Tour buses, horse-drawn carriages, and hikers converge at its base, creating a choreography of tourism against a backdrop of alpine cliffs. In Munich, broad boulevards and manicured gardens blend with beer halls and art museums. Cyclists pedal past ornate fountains while trams cut through plazas lined with chestnut trees. The English garden unfurls with streams, ponds, and lawns where students sunbathe during warm afternoons. Food stalls sell sausages, pretzels, and pastries dusted with powdered sugar, while waiters carry foaming mugs of beer through cavernous halls lit by chandeliers. Closer to the mountains, alpine lakes shine with impossible clarity, reflecting peaks draped in snow even in early summer. Cable cars rise toward ridges where paragliders leap into open sky, their colorful wings drifting above green valleys dotted with chalets. Ski resorts prepare pistes during winter, while hikers roam through wildflower meadows during warmer seasons. The borderlands reveal a meeting of cultures through Baroque churches, onion-domed towers, and small villages where festivals fill town squares with accordion music and folk dances. Traveling northward again, the Danube winds through Regensburg, its medieval stone bridge spanning the river with graceful arches. Students gather in quiet courtyards surrounded by cobblestones and pastel facades, while tour boats whisper past ancient warehouses once packed with spices and salt. Farther north, Nuremberg carries memories of empires and tribunals, yet today hosts toy fairs and bustling Christmas markets scented with gingerbread and mulled wine. Craftspeople carve ornaments from wood, and bakers dust confections with cinnamon. Saxony brings ornate theatres, porcelain workshops, and cities rebuilt with remarkable care. Dresden's riverfront glitters beneath grand domes and cupolas, while paddle steamers churn along the Elbe. Opera-goers in formal attire ascend stone staircases to hear orchestras perform works that once echoed through royal courts. In Leipzig, publishing houses, music halls, and universities create a cultural gravity that attracted composers and philosophers across centuries. Trams whistle past bookstores and coffeehouses where students debate literature and politics. To the northeast, Brandenburg stretches with lakes, wetlands, and forests inhabited by cranes, deer, and wild boar. Wooden observation towers look out over reed beds shimmering in the breeze, while kayakers paddle along slow-moving rivers bordered by willow trees. Small villages appear sporadically, each with a brick church and a neatly tended square. As the landscape flattens, wind turbines rotate steadily against the horizon. The region blends rural tranquility with environmental stewardship. Continuing toward the Baltic, the port city of Rostock hums with shipyards, universities, and ferries. Fishing boats unload crates of herring and cod as gulls wheel overhead. The air smells of salt and diesel as cranes pivot along the docks. In summer, beaches stretch along the coast, where families swim in chilly waves and build sandcastles beneath striped umbrellas. Nearby, chalk cliffs rise above turquoise water, and forests reach down to the shoreline with surprising abruptness. Light reflects off white rock faces, creating a luminous contrast beneath passing clouds. Even farther north and west, Hamburg displays canals, warehouses, and concert halls that glimmer beside the Elbe. Container ships arrive from distant continents, unloading goods that feed Europe's markets. Footbridges arch over waterways lined with brick facades, and tugboats nudge barges through narrow channels. A futuristic concert hall rises like a crystal above the harbour, drawing audiences who listen to orchestras in luminous acoustics. Outside, seafood stalls sell fried fish sandwiched in soft rolls with pickles and onions. West of the harbour city, the heathlands of Lower Saxony roll beneath open skies. Wild purple blooms stretch across sandy soil during late summer, and shepherds guide flocks across quiet pastures. Small farms cultivate potatoes, grains, and apples, while windmills and tractors mark a rhythm defined by weather rather than timetables. Farther out, the North Frisian Islands emerge as sandy bars shaped by tides and storms. Bicycles rattle along narrow lanes between thatched cottages, and seals bask on offshore sandbanks as ferries glide past. Throughout the country, public transport forms a thread that ties cities, towns, and villages together. High-speed trains surge between major hubs at impressive velocity, regional lines span farmland and rolling hills, and buses fill the gaps with dependable precision. Tickets are scanned quickly, passengers settle with quiet efficiency, and conductors step through cabins with polite authority. Airports funnel travelers from continents away into a nation comfortable with both tradition and technology. German cuisine reflects centuries of regional identity. Sausages vary in seasoning and shape from region to region. Breads come in countless varieties of rye, wheat, and spelt, and desserts range from airy strudels to dense torts layered with cream. Breweries craft lagers, pilsners, and wheat beers, while vineyards nurture white varietals with mineral depth and aromatic charm. Markets sell jars of mustard, wheels of cheese, pickled vegetables, and freshly harvested fruits. Dining feels simultaneously rustic and refined, with attention given to both nourishment and conviviality. Across Germany, the people carry a blend of pragmatism and quiet warmth. Conversations may begin formally, yet laughter arrives soon after, softening edges and building camaraderie. Neighbors greet one another on stairwells, commuters offer directions to confused visitors, and festival-goers share benches with strangers as though they were old friends. Pride in craftsmanship appears everywhere. in meticulously tuned instruments, in precise engineering, in carefully restored facades, and in artisanal goods displayed at open-air markets. As the journey nears its end, twilight settles over lakes that mirror the colors of the sky.
Thank you very much for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.